Welcome to America's National Park of Speed. Road America, one of America's premier, if not the premier road racing course, a very European style. Long straightaways, high and low speed corners. A great test of racing machinery, and we're about to see it. My name's John Fippin, the spokesman for the Formula Regional Americas Series. Alongside Eric Miller here, the voice of Road America. We'll keep you up to speed on the goings-on on our first race of the weekend, a 30-minute timed race for 12 drivers vying for the championship of Formula Regional Americas. Let's introduce them to you, starting on the outside of row 6, car number 24, our Masters competitor, Kevin Janzen, out of Deerfield Beach, Florida. He's sponsored by the U.S. Power Group and Data Center Solutions. He drives for Crosslink Kiwi Motorsport. Alongside him, car number 77 is James Lawley out of Halifax, Canada. James for the Cart Bond Racing sponsored machine for the Atlantic Racing Team. A driver who's had an eventful weekend will start outside of row 5, car 73, Landan Matriano Lim out of Shreveport, Louisiana. Landan raced with us on a part-time schedule, pretty much a full-time schedule, in the F4 Championship a year ago, stepping up to the FR machinery. He's sponsored by 739 Racing and for the Crosslink Kiwi Motorsport team. He had an off in testing on Thursday and did some damage to the car, but the crew got the car back together and he qualified it outside of row 5. Next to him will be car number 17, Justin Garat, out of Miami, Florida. Justin also racing for the Speed Factory team. In row 4 on the outside, car number 25, Ricco Shlaimoun out of Los Angeles, California. Ricco also drives for Crosslink Kiwi. He raced with us briefly back in 2018 and in the F4 Championship, and then has pursued other interests, and we welcome him back as a full-time racer in the Formula Regional Americas Championship this year. Next to him in row 4 is car number 66, the vice champion of the Formula Regional Americas Championship a year ago, Ryan Shehan out of Austin, Texas. Ryan currently third in the points championship, coming into this second venue of the season for us. In row 3 on the outside, his teammate, car number 02, Jett Bowling from Dallas, Texas. Jett also driving for the Crosslink Kiwi Motorsports team. Next to him is the 22 of Hayden Bowlsbey from Folsom, Louisiana. He's sponsored by Save 22 for IGY6 Motorsports. Hayden is our most experienced driver, raced with us for 3 years in F4, and then this is now his third season in the Formula Regional Americas Championship as well. And he's coming off a podium finish at our first round of racing at New Orleans. In row 2 on the outside, car number 6, Nicole Havrda, one of the recipients of the PMH Powering Diversity Scholarship. She's the only female in our field. She's from Comox, British Columbia, for Crosslink Kiwi Motorsports. Next to her, car number 55, Nico Ambiado. Nico out of Santiago, Chile, currently living in the Miami area. He's sponsored by T-Link and Allegro, and he drives for the Velox USA team. They're in partnership with the Speed Factory. Now on the front row, 2 drivers who are near the sharp edge of the championship as well. Car number 31 is Titus Sherlock out of Prosper, Texas. Titus for the Crosslink Kiwi Motorsports team. He was the vice champion of the F4 Championship a year ago. And alongside him, the champion of the F4 Championship a year ago, Patrick Woods-Toth out of Montreal, Quebec. Patrick, a protege of Ron Fellows, was the winner of the Radford Racing School Scholarship, the Karts to Cars Scholarship. And he was a go-karter 2 years ago and was sponsored by Ron Fellows for the Radford Racing School Shootout and won that, and an opportunity to race in the F4 Championship, and lo and behold, he won it. Patrick had 4 wins and 10 podium finishes throughout the course of the season. He is also our points leader coming into this round. The driver who is second in the points, unfortunately not racing with us here this weekend, Cole Kleck for DD Autosport. Ryan Shehan, we mentioned, a winner at NOLA as well. Hayden Bowlsbey with a podium finish. Also, Nico Ambiado finishing on the podium at NOLA. We have 21 races on the schedule this year as we visit a couple venues that we have not visited before. The Indianapolis Motor Speedway during the vintage weekend there. The FR cars will be taking part. And we're also making a trip north of the border to Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, the track formerly known as Mosport, as we'll be racing there later this summer, all leading up to our season finale at Circuit of the Americas at the end of October. The cars now beginning to form up down on the front straightaway. Patrick Woods-Toth on the pole, Titus Sherlock alongside. As we wait for the last of the cars to roll into position and the start sequence should begin. Crew members alongside the pit wall guiding their drivers into their pit stalls. They are enjoined from crossing the line, and it looks like the grid is full. The green lights on the start gantry indicate to the drivers that the field is set, and the light sequence has begun. All 5 lights are lit, they're out, and we are away. Everybody gets away cleanly. A little tire spin from the second row is going to create an issue, but sweeping around the outside, looks like Titus Sherlock may lead the field down into turn number 1 as he got the job done over the Aaron's Tunnel as they head down towards turn number 3. It is Titus Sherlock at the point. Patrick Woods-Toth right behind him as they come through turn number 3. Single file now, pretty much line astern as they line up under the Sargento Bridge and heading down toward turn 5, the best passing opportunity on the racetrack.
As a developmental series, certainly within the Formula Americas system, this is a start that you want. Nice, clean start. Get these drivers laps around this race course. Let them build their racing talent. Good squeeze for the lead here up into turn 6 underneath the Corvette Bridge. And everybody line astern now through 6 and into 7 as they make their way in a hurry downs. Battle for the top spot side by side for the moment. Squeezed a little wide. Left side tires across the rumble strips, and that's going to cost 2 spots for the battle for the lead.
Titus Sherlock got squeezed a bit by Patrick Woods-Toth, the pole sitter, as he was able to go down to the inside of turn 5. They raced side by side all the way through turn 6 and turn 7. Made the run down toward turn 8. Titus got just a little bit wide, dropped a wheel off on the outside as they worked their way under the recently christened Mission Food Bridge through the kink for the first time. Down into Kettle Bottoms, making the slightly weaving run, flat out of course, down toward the northernmost point of the racetrack, Canada Corner, turn number 12. So Titus Sherlock, your leader, as another car goes just a little bit wide at the exit of Canada as these cold Hankook tires take a lap or 2 to get up to temperature, especially with this very smooth new track paving that we encountered for the first time last season. But it looks like everybody's going to make it through lap number 1 without incident as they climb the hill and come toward the line. It is Woods-Toth. Nico Ambiado now up into second spot. Titus Sherlock shuffled back to third. Hayden Bowlsbey fourth. Nicole Havrda in the 5th spot. Ryan Shehan up to 6th. Jett Bowling dropping back just a bit after starting in 6th position. He's back in 7th. Landan Matriano Lim, Justin Garat, James Lawley, Ricco Shlaimoun, and Kevin Janzen bringing up the rear as they begin to spread out just a little bit. These FR cars, of course, generate significantly more downforce than their F4 counterparts. And as we say, anytime a downforce race car does so, it generates disturbed air coming off the back of the car, which creates problems for the following car, taking downforce off the front wing, as we've got a bid for a move there for 4th position as those drivers, Hayden Bowlsbey, Nicole Havrda, going side by side. They work their way through turn 6 there at the top of the hill. Just a short shoot down to turn 7, then down into turn 8, the section of the track known as Hurry Downs. Nico Ambiado in the red machine for Velox USA. Hanging right in there in that 2nd spot with Sherlock right behind him. Sherlock getting the jump on the start and took the lead, but unfortunately shuffled back, but Woods-Toth beginning to stretch his advantage now as Patrick looking to see if he can get away. These cars do not have push to pass, so there's no opportunity for them to, get within a second. If you're a Formula One follower, they don't have DRS on these cars. But so Woods-Toth looking to get away right now. But hey, great battle for second. Titus Sherlock is resurgent as he is closing right on the back of Nico Ambiado, the Chilean, as Sherlock chases him, and then right behind him a good two-way battle for fourth and fifth as well.
A little bit more organic passing, obviously without the mechanical assistance, but that hones the racecraft, and that's really what this Formula Regional Americas class is all about, is defining and refining their racecraft as they start to move their way through the ladder.
The battle for second, Titus Sherlock going side by side with Ambiado over the Aaron's Tunnel as they head down toward turn 3, still side by side. And Sherlock's trying to ride the rim around the outside, still side by side. Great racing between these two youngsters as they keep giving themselves racing room. Of course, the man in front of them has got a big smile under that crash helmet as they battle side by side. He can get away even more. So the reigning F4 U.S. champion and the points leader of this championship through turn 5 all by himself. Titus Sherlock dives down to the inside at turn 5, but he goes a little bit wide. That's going to open the door for Ambiado in the run up the hill toward the Corvette Bridge. Not quite able to get the pass done. So Titus Sherlock back up into second spot now.
Sherlock building a little bit of momentum down the hill into 5 under braking, and then carried that momentum on the exterior of 5 all the way up the hill to 6. And then now into hurry downs by about a car length and a half over Ambiado, who's settling into third now.
Great battle just behind them for fourth and fifth as well, as it's Ryan Shehan. Ryan did not have the qualifying session that he had hoped for. Again, Ryan, as we mentioned, the vice champion of this championship a year ago, coming off a win at round 3 at New Orleans Motorsports Park. Qualified well down the order, and he is on a charge now, working his way forward, as he and Hayden Bowlsbey battling for that fourth spot. Cars coming out of the kink toward Canada corner. Titus Sherlock, after disposing of Nico Ambiado and the Velox machine, is beginning to stretch it out just a bit. Great new camera angle here as we get another view of the cars coming off the Billy Mitchell bend as they make the run down toward the final turn, turn 14. Arguably the most important turn on the racetrack because it leads onto this long uphill front straightaway. Woods-Toth sets fast lap of the race at a 2:04.5. Titus Sherlock right behind him. His best lap, a 2:05 and some change. Ambiado, Hayden Bowlsbey, and Ryan Shehan across the line. Nicole Havrda in 6th. Jett Bowling 7th. Justin Garat 8th. Landan Matriano Lim, James Lawley, Ricco Shlaimoun, and Kevin Janzen are the 12-car field. Patrick Woods-Toth heading up the hill toward the Corvette Bridge. Titus Sherlock looks like he might be closing the gap down just a little bit at the line. Woods-Toth had built up almost a 3-second lead. As Sherlock, after getting back around Nico Ambiado, begins to press the issue just a little bit. James Lawley and Ricco Shlaimoun having a pretty good battle, a little deeper in the pack as they work their way
Nick Ambiado kind of settling into that third spot, just kind of minding the gap right now back to Hayden Bowlsbey between third and fourth. That gap really stabilized between third and fourth, but losing touch with Titus Sherlock in that second spot. But Patrick Woods-Toth certainly has the rhythm right now. And you don't talk about Road America being a rhythm racetrack often, but it truly is. There's a lot of long straightaways here, but you do have a little bit, as our good friend Greg Creamer says, twisty bits here at Road America. And from turn 5 to really to the carousel, you do have to mind the rhythm of the racetrack a little bit. And Patrick Woods-Toth has certainly found that rhythm within the qualifying sessions yesterday and earlier this weekend, and has found that here in the early going of race number 1.
Woods-Toth, as we have seen so many times, who graduates from the F4 car into the Formula Regional Americas Championship, it does require a very different driving style. The car's a little heavier, a lot more downforce to rely on, so you got to trust the car through the high-speed bends. It's got twice the horsepower nearly, so it requires a very different skill set for the drivers, and sometimes the drivers coming out of the normally aspirated F4 cars have a little trouble dealing with the higher horsepower machinery, but Woods-Toth has taken to it quite well, and he's looking very strong here as they work their way up the hill toward the Corvette Bridge. Good battle back a little deeper in the pack between Jett Bowling and Justin Garat. That's the battle for 7th as they go side by side up the hill. That battle for 4th that we've been talking about between Hayden Bowlsbey and Ryan Shehan, one of the best on the racetrack. As Shehan biding his time right now, perhaps looking for an opportunity, but Bowlsbey, again, our most experienced racer, now in his 6th year of competition with us between the 2 championships, really coming into his own this season, already with a podium finish. He's had a total of 2 podiums between his F4 and FR racing up to this point, and he's already notched a podium this year and looking to be potentially in a position to get another one here. But Ryan Shehan, last year's vice champion, again recovering from a not great qualifying performance, looking to see if he can take that spot away. There's that battle between Garat and Bowling as well that we've been following. There goes Shehan just behind him. The machine of Nicole Havrda, the British Columbian. Woods-Toth resets fast lap of the race, a 2:03.981. The race lap record is a 2:03.377 set here by the eventual champion Callum Hedge a year ago. So Woods-Toth getting pretty close to lap record pace, at least race lap record. Titus Sherlock now about 4.2 seconds behind Woods-Toth. Nico Ambiado a further 2 seconds back in 3rd. About 3 seconds back to the Bowlsbey-Shehan battle, who were almost exactly a second apart at the line. But the closest battle on the racetrack right now is the one for 7th. Jett Bowling in the 02, holding off Justin Garat in the 17. Garat driving for the Speed Factory team. Jett Bowling in the 02, one of the Crosslink Kiwi Motorsport drivers.
Not quite sure who it was, but we had one of our drivers go off into the braking zone at turn 5, a little bit hot and heavy, and ended up running a stern of about 4 or 5 spots lost. So we'll recycle the field when they get back to the start-finish stripe, but we had somebody go wide in 5, able to woe it down, stayed in the paved area, but lost a couple of spots. So we'll check through as they cycle back through to the start-finish line here momentarily of your field here in Formula Regional Americas, round 4, race 1 of the weekend here at America's National Park of Speed, Road America.
There's Titus Sherlock disappearing into the Billy Mitchell bend. His teammate, Patrick Woods-Toth, then Titus Sherlock, then Nico Ambiado. Oh, and we've got a spinner, and that may be Hayden Bowlsbey. It's either Bowlsbey or Ryan Shehan, as one of those two was the driver who had that problem down at turn number 5. Another car going wide, but able to get back on the racing part. But, oh, man, the driver out of 4th place looped it and goes all the way to the back. We'll sort that out as they come across the line. Ambiado just now across the stripe. It'll either be Bowlsbey or Shehan as they come up. And it's Nicole Havrda. Nicole Havrda up to 4th. Ryan Shehan right behind. It was Hayden Bowlsbey, the 22, who took that spin there at Canada Corner, at the exit of Canada Corner. So just as I was bragging on him, the commentator's curse, of course. But now we've got a great 3-way battle. Nicole Havrda, Ryan Shehan, and Jett Bowling all together. Bowling picking up a spot up into 6th, but Nicole picking up 2 spots. She was the one who really took advantage of that problem. So she's all the way up to 4th with Ryan Shehan right behind her. And there is that 3-way battle. working its way up the hill toward turn 6, turning into a four-way battle, quite frankly. Havrda, Shehan, Bowling, and Justin Garat all running close together. As they come through turn 7, through hurry downs, down toward turn 8. Under the bridge and heading through the carousel turn, the long sweeping right-hander that feeds into the most daunting corner on the racetrack, the legendary kink. As they come down, our leaders disappearing into the sunset, but here's that great fourth place battle. 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th, all in the same camera shot. The 5th and 6th battle may be the best one, as our leader Patrick Woods-Toth already across the line as he continues to stretch his lead up to almost 5 seconds now over his teammate Titus Sherlock. Then Nico Ambiado, another 3 seconds back, and then a bit of a gap back to this scrum that we've been watching with Nicole Havrda out in front of Ryan Shehan and Jett Bowling. Justin Garat in the 17, currently in that 7th spot. Garat started back in 9th, so he's picked up 2 positions. We're halfway through this one with 15 minutes remaining. James Lawley in the 9th spot. Landan Matriano, who started back in 10th, has picked up 2 spots up to 8th. Hayden Bowlsbey recovering into 11th position as he fell all the way to the back. He's been able to get back around Kevin Janzen to move up to 11th. Ricco Shlaimoun in front of him. Shlaimoun just behind James Lawley, as those drivers having a good battle too for 9th and 10th. As we watch this four-way battle for 3rd spot, Havrda, Shehan, Bowling, and Garat. Nicole Havrda still with the advantage. Ryan Shehan right behind her. Again, Shehan qualifying in 7th, a bit uncharacteristic for the driver who had a win at NOLA. Set fastest lap in the course of that race. Beginning to stretch back out just a little bit, and then behind them, behind Jett Bowling, or Justin Garat, about a 5-second gap back to Landan Matriano. Oh, and another spinner. Ooh, and I believe that was Jett Bowling. Just as I was talking about him, commentators curse once again, is that exit of Canada Corner has been a bugbear for a couple of these drivers, as we saw Hayden Bowlsbey spin back to the back, and I think we're going to call a safety car here. That's what we're hearing from race control. It hasn't been dispatched just yet. Yep, that's the case. Full course yellow. The safety car will pick up the field. It was Jett Bowling who had the spin there at the exit of Canada. As the rest of the field powers by us here on start finish, they'll get to pack up as the safety crews tend to the car of Bowling. Looks like he made contact with the tire barrier right there where Hayden Bowlsbey spun.
James Lawley also spun and continued over in turn 12 area as well. Likely tried to avoid situation. Looked like some debris was kind of strewn about after the contact with the tire barrier.
Yep.
Car bounced back into traffic a little bit, and pretty easy to just kind of lock it down and try to not hit anything else, but spun to avoid. So Lawley back underway in the kart bond racing entry.
Yep. So we could pause for a breath here, and we can run the order for you. Patrick Woods-Toth had built up a 5-second plus lead, and that will now evaporate as his teammate Titus Sherlock will close up right behind him. Woods-Toth in the number 27 for Crosslink Kiwi. Titus Sherlock again in the 31. Nico Ambiado in the 55 will slot up behind them in third spot in the Velox USA Racing number 55. Nicole Havrda running in fourth with Ryan Shehan, last year's vice champion. Just behind her, Justin Garat in the 17 for the Speed Factory. Landan Matriano Lim up to 7th now. Hayden Bowlsbey in recovery mode after his spin, dropping all the way to the back of the pack. He's up to 8th now. Ricco Shlaimoun in the 25 in 9th. James Lawley recovered for a 10th place spot for his spin and go. Kevin Janzen, our Masters competitor, in the 11th position, and Jett Bowling, the car involved in that spin. They're at turn 12, the exit of Canada Corner. Safety crew on the scene of the spin there at the exit of turn 12. Patrick Woods-Toth certainly in a position to extend his points lead. Came in with just a 3-point advantage over Cole Kleck, who we mentioned is not racing with us here this weekend. He's got a 14-point advantage over his teammate Ryan Shehan, and that'll get a little wider as it runs right now. Shehan back in 5th spot. But on this restart, he may have an opportunity. The car's been good here in the last few laps, as his last lap at 2:05.2, just a little bit quicker than Nicole Havrda, just in front of him. So Shehan might be in a position to challenge for a podium spot, perhaps on this restart. We'll see how that works out.
Cleanup may take a couple of moments here, just about the final 9 minutes remaining here in round 4, race 1 here at Road America. So depending on the cleanup, we may get 1, maybe 2 laps under green here would be my estimate. But looking over in the Canada Corner area, there is a little bit of debris strewn about. So they're certainly trying to clean up the race course as well as get that car removed as quickly as possible.
Our race director, Scott Goodyear, may well elect to red flag the situation, which basically would bring the cars into the pit lane and stop the race clock. As it looks like they're going to need a tow truck to lift that car. Apparently there's enough damage that it's not rollable, so they can't flat tow it from that position. So the tow truck backing into position right now to hook up to the roll hoop. They'll lift that car off of the track and get it out of harm's way. Get a shot now of the recovery work. Jett out of the car and okay, by the way, so no issues for the driver. But enough damage to the suspension of that car that it's going to require a little help from the tow truck to get it back into the paddock. Safety crew here at Road America doing a fantastic job, as they always do, to get this cleaned up as expeditiously as possible. You can see the skid marks leading right up into that safety truck just under the Bobcat Plus sign. Our Bowling just went a little bit too wide at the exit, and the rear got away from him up on the rumble strips, breaking the traction and spun off to the inside, driver's right. Hit the tire barrier pretty much side on. Clock continues to run with about 6.5 minutes remaining. If there's not significant damage to the tire wall itself, they should be able to get this cleaned up pretty expeditiously here, as they're making the connection to the roll hoop now to get that car lifted out of harm's way. There's the safety car with the field coming by. Woods-Toth and Titus Sherlock, Nico Ambiado just behind him. Then Nicole Havrda with Ryan Shehan, Justin Garat, Landan Matriano Lim, Hayden Bowlsbey in recovery mode, Ricco Shlaimoun, James Lawley, and Kevin Janzen at the tail end. Car is in the air on the tow hook. Safety workers strapping it down. Looks like there was a little fluid dropped by that car, probably damage to the radiators. That side impact will definitely create havoc with the radiators, which are in the side pods on either side of the driver. And they probably dropped a little oil and or coolant on the racetrack, so they're putting some oil dry down to get that soaked up. Now that the car is in the air, looks like they might be putting a diaper on it to make sure it doesn't drip any further.
So we're getting a look at a replay here from our broadcast position. It looks like he had both rear tires over the rumble strips, and there's a pretty wicked set of gator strips on the exit of 12. You can kind of see in the shot here with the white lines marked, but both rear wheels were over the line, and it looked like just simply lost a little bit of traction with the rebound action of the suspension.
Yep.
And just looped it on his own. So unfortunately, that's one of those situations where driver error comes into consideration, but that's a tough break for that team. Going to have a little bit of repair work to do to try to make race 2.
Yep. They only have one race today, but there'll be 2 races tomorrow, so they'll have some time to get that car rebuilt. And of course, he's part of the juggernaut that is Crosslink Kiwi Motorsports, so they've got significant presence here. They have 8 cars in this 12-car field, so there'll be no shortage of help to get that done. The safety vehicles are pulling away from the scene of the incident, so we have a clear course. And we understand we will get a restart this time by, as the tow truck staying on the grass in case there is any fluid still leaking out of that damaged car of Jett Bowling. Jett had a pair of 5th place finishes in the 3 races at NOLA. He did not score points in the first race, but 2 5ths put him 6th in the points standings coming into this 4th round of competition here at Road America. Got about 3.5 minutes remaining as the field just now coming into view on the way down toward turn 5. So it'll probably be a green-white checker, I'm guessing. Again, these races are timed, not a number of laps per se, so it is a 30-minute timed race. And they're going to take the green with about a minute left, I'm going to guess. So it'll be a 1-lap dash with everybody packed up. Yep, so that's the case. We'll see the green and white simultaneously here on the starter's gantry, just upstream from our commentary position.
Safety team smartly taking the car through the grass rather than on the racing line. That allows them to, keep some of that containment of fluid in the grass rather than on the racing surface, but it allows us to be able to get the field back behind the safety car up to speed, get tires up to temperature, and then get a 1-lap dash in for the checkered flag here to round out race 1 of the weekend for Formula Regionals Americas.
Nicole Havrda looking perhaps for her first podium if she can find a way around Nico Ambiado or pressure him into a mistake. Ryan Shehan, also a hungry driver, again, didn't get the qualifying lap in that he had hoped for. And he's in position now to challenge perhaps for a podium spot as well. Cars heading through the carousel turn. toward the new Mission Foods Bridge and down through Hurry Downs, as the lights will go out on the safety car to indicate to the field. Usually just about now as they hit the kink, they'll turn the lights out on the safety car. And then as they approach Canada Corner, the safety car will accelerate away from the field. The leader is required to maintain safety car pace until he gets to the apex of turn 14. At that point, he can accelerate. It is so the field under leader control once the safety car pulls away. And then it's the run up the hill. You can see these drivers weaving a bit as they work their way through Hurry Downs, trying to get any dust or debris off the tires and get them back up to temperature. There goes the Corvette safety car pulling away as they exit Canada Corner. And Patrick Woods-Toth brings the snake around through Bill Mitchell Bend. It'll be a single file restart. The drivers may not make a pass until they reach start finish. They can pop, but they can't complete the pass until they reach start finish. Everybody's line astern, heading toward turn 14. Woods-Toth can drop the hammer right about now, and he does just that. Titus Sherlock staying right with him. Cars beginning to set up their positioning. Green flag flies. Nicole Havrda trying to play defense now as she's trying to hold on to that 4th spot with Ryan Shehan trying to go around the inside. Titus Sherlock right on the rear wing of his teammate, Patrick Woods-Toth. Woods-Toth being a little defensive in the run down to turn 3. That's going to hurt his exit. And Sherlock might have a run on him as they come under the Sargento Bridge. The clock has expired. The next flag they see will be the checkers. On the way down the hill toward turn number 5, Woods-Toth, Sherlock, Ambiado just maybe a car length further back. Down into turn 5, the best passing opportunity on the racetrack. Woods-Toth guarding that inside line. Sherlock should get a good exit, though, as they come out of turn 5. Side by side, Nico Ambiado and Ryan Shehan, I believe, going side by side for 4th. As we've got a spinner, it looks like that's the 25 car of Ricco Shlaimoun, who has looped it down at turn 5. So that will cost him a couple positions. He was in 9th. Excuse me, coming down to turn 8. Still a good battle at the front as they work their way through the carousel turn. Woods-Toth with Titus Sherlock right behind him, and I think that's Ryan Shehan up to 3rd. Nico Ambiado has dropped back just a touch as they work their way through the kink on the way through Kettle Bottoms toward Canada Corner. Side-by-side action between Nicole Havrda and Ryan Shehan. The battle for the lead, still a good one. It's not over yet. A drafting duel up to the line, definitely in possibility here. No, it is Ambiado still in 3rd. I'm sorry, I misidentified that. But a great battle just behind him. Here they come, climbing the hill. Can Patrick Woods-Toth hold off his teammate as they race toward the line? The checkered flag in the air. It is Woods-Toth with the win. Sherlock across the line in 2nd. Ambiado 3rd. Ryan Shehan recovers for 4th. Nicole Havrda in 5th. Justin Garat up to 6th. Landan Matriano Lim in 7th. Hayden Bowlsbey in 8th. James Lawley 9th. And Kevin Janzen in the final points-paying position, as Ricco Shlaimoun with that spin at turn 5 cost him a chance to score some valuable championship points. Shlaimoun had a 9th and an 8th in 2 of the 3 races at NOLA. So great job for Patrick Woods-Toth, leading pretty much from flag to flag. But Titus Sherlock kept him honest as they worked their way to the finish.